Hello children, I hope everyone is fine and safe and enjoying good time with your loved ones during this hard time as we all are suffering from lockdown due to COVID-19. And I welcome you all to our online teaching class. We are going to move further with our second term syllabus. So the chapter we'll start today is chapter 7, that is democratic government. In this chapter, we'll see about theme, the Constitution of India, its basic features. Now, what are the things that we are going to learn in this chapter? First is Government of India and its structure, 3 branches of the government, elections and importance of voting, role of the citizen in a democracy. So these are the 4 points that we are going to cover in this chapter, that is democratic government. The first thing that we are going to cover in this chapter is Government of India and its structure. Now it says that India has a democratic government. Now here, what do you understand by democratic government or democracy? Now democracy, it is a system. Now what kind of a system? It is a system where people are given right. What right the people of India are given? They are given a right to vote and choose their representatives by voting them in elections. Okay? Now it further says that India has a democratic government, which means it is a government of the people, for the people and by the people. In a democracy, people have the right to vote and choose their representatives who govern the country on their behalf. Now, Government of India and its structure, it says that in India, the common citizen, for example, who are the common citizen? Common citizen, we are the common citizen. Now, we are given certain laws, certain rights. And who gives us the rights? The Constitution of India. It gives us certain rights. And what are those rights? The first right they gave us is the right to choose the representatives. What representatives? The one who will run the nation. We are given the right to choose the people to stand for election, and so that they can stand over there on our behalf to look after the welfare of the society. So it is our responsibility, it is our right to choose the people of our own choice. Okay? Now, all citizens of India who are above 18 years of age. Now, there is an age limit and there is an age given from when we can start our voting. Now, as soon as we turn above 18 years of age, that is the time when we are given a right to vote for the members who stands in election. Okay? Now, all the citizens of India who are above 18 years of age have a right to vote and elect the members of the Lok Sabha. Now, when we start to vote, we are given a right. What right? That we can elect the members of the Lok Sabha. It is a very valuable and precious right. And this voting is one of the most precious right that the government has given us to vote for the right person, which should be exercised for the smooth functioning of the country. And why this right has been given to us? Because so that we can think about the nation, we can think about the country, so that it can run in a smoother way, it can function in a very smooth manner. Thus, this right has been given to us to elect the members, to stand in election and make them win. Now, another feature of a democratic government is that power is not concentrated in the hands of one or few, This is done by dividing the government into three different branches, with each part having its own powers and responsibilities. Now, the power that the democratic government gives, it is not limited. The power is not limited in the hands of one or few, but the powers are given to other branches as well. So here the government is divided into three branches. Now all these three branches has its own powers and responsibilities. Okay, now the three branches of the government that we are going to study about are legislature, executive and judiciary. Now, as we all know that India has 28 states and 9 union territories. State also means a country that is controlled by one government. Who controls a state? A state is controlled by one government. Okay, the Indian state has government of its own and many responsibilities or duties towards the people of the state. The constitution gives the state several powers to carry out these duties. The constitution, what does it do? It gives us various duties and fundamental rights to follow, and to why we need to follow those duties? For the betterment of the country. Okay, the constitution has divided these between three different branches that we have studied: legislature, executive and judiciary. Now, what happens in the legislature? It is responsible for making the laws. Now, the legislature, it is responsible in making the laws. These laws have to be fair and should follow the directive principle of the state policy. Whatever laws that the legislature makes should be fair, it should be right, keeping in mind for the betterment of the state and of the people. Then the executive. The executive makes sure that the laws are properly followed. It is responsible for implementing the laws. That means if certain duties are given to us, that means we have to follow those laws. For example, if in our school diary, if the duties are given for the students that we have to follow these duties, it is not only meant to be written in the diary, it is meant to be followed. Implementing means when we practice, when we follow those laws. Okay, it also makes policies which must be followed by the directive principles. Now the third is judiciary. It is responsible for maintaining the law and settling matter of dispute according to the law. These are the courts. The judiciary are the courts. They make sure that the laws are properly understood. Now, whatever laws that the government makes, it has to be understood properly by everyone. They also use the law to decide any dispute. Suppose if any disagreement, dispute means if any disagreement is happening between the two, there you have to make a decision. You have to follow a right decision, okay, for the betterment of the country. Suppose there are two people and one is telling that apple is good for health, the other is saying that apple is not good for health. So the third person, so it is the duty of the judiciary that he has to interrupt between, and he has to find out the way that which will be the correct thing, what will be the correct thing for the state. That means this is what you understand by dispute. When there is a disagreement, you have to make sure that everything is fine. You have to find out a better solution. This is the work of a judiciary. Okay, now we'll move forward. We will discuss these branches in detail in the later part of the chapter. Since India is such a vast country, we know that India is a huge country. It is difficult to govern it from one corner. Therefore, to make the administration smoother, it has been divided into 28 states and 9 union territories. We know that India is a vast country now, and it is not difficult to govern it from one corner. Do you think it is possible for one person to look after the whole India? No. So in order to make the state, the country, run in a better way, so what it does, it has been divided into 28 states and 9 union territories. Now, to ensure that interests of people are well represented, India has federal form of government. It means that the power is divided between the central government and the state governments. That means the different powers has been given to central government and state governments. Okay. Now, what does this central government and state government do? It looks after the needs, the welfare and safety of the people of the country. It has its offices in New Delhi, the capital of India. Now, the state government and central government, it looks after the welfare of the society, the welfare of the country. Okay. Now, further it says that the central government deals with large issues. The central government, it deals with the bigger issues like the border disputes, economy of the nation and national crisis. Whereas state government deals with local issues like law and order, water, land, etc. Now we have studied that each state of India has its own government. Why each state has its own government? Because it is not possible for only one person to look after this India. Why? Because India is a vast country. So there is a division in powers which looks after the welfare of the country. Okay. Forward it says that there are some issues that requires both the central government as well as the state government to work together. Now, many times what happens when certain issues arises, both central government and state government, they work together. Now, these issues are given in a list called the concurrent list in the constitution, and that issues are given in a list which is called the concurrent list in the constitution. Now, there is another level of government which functions below the state level. This is called the local government. Now, there is another government which is known as the local government, and this local government is below the state level. The villages are governed by institutions like the Jila Parishads and Gram Panchayat. These organizations solve day-to-day problems in the districts and villages like providing electricity, water, sanitation, education and maintenance of roads. The cities and towns are managed by the municipal corporations and municipal councils. Now, what happens in local government? Local governments, there are two types of institution. Now, here the villages are governed by two institutions, the Jila Parishads and the Gram Panchayat. Now, these two institutions, these organizations, the Jila Parishad and the Gram Panchayat, they work on day-to-day problems. Basically, these problems are solved in the villages. And what kind of problem they solve? Like providing electricity, they give the water properly, sanitization, then they give education, the maintenance of the roads. The cities and the towns, and the cities and towns are managed by municipal corporations and municipal councils. So far I hope you all have understood. So I hope you have understood by this far the government of India and its structure. So a quick revision of what we have studied. We studied about the democracy. What happens in democracy? A system where people are given right to vote and choose their representative by voting them in election. So the constitution has given us the right, when a person is above 18 years of age, we have a right to vote and elect the members of the Lok Sabha. And why do we need to elect the member to stand in election? Because of the welfare of our society, of our country. And the power which has been given to us is very precious, and we need to use it in a better way so that the country will function in a smoother way. Now, second thing we learned about the other feature of democratic government, that the power is not limited to only one or few people. Rather, power is given to in other hands as well. Three branches where the powers are given: legislature, executive, and judiciary. Then we studied about the central government and the state government, what role the central government and the state government plays. The central government looks at the huge issues, the bigger issues of the country, like the border dispute, the national crisis, or economic condition of the country. Whereas in state government, what happens? We look after the law and orders. Okay. Then we studied about the Zilla Parishads and Gram Panchayat, okay, which comes under the local government, which is below the state level. Now, what is the work of the Gram Panchayat and Zilla Parishad? They solve day-to-day problems of the villages. They solve the problems such as providing electricity, water, sanitation, education, and maintenance of the roads. And the cities and towns are managed by municipal corporation and municipal council. So today we'll study till here. In the next part of the video, we'll study in brief the legislature and the other two branches. So far, if you have any doubt regarding the first half of the chapter, you can contact me through my WhatsApp number. Go through the video carefully. If you have any doubt, mark it so that you can clear it out through my WhatsApp number. Take care, children.